Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. I hope you are all well. Well, today I'm gonna show you the final phase of this Python lessons. So far, we have completed 8 series of Python lessons, and we have come up to class and instances examples. Now at this final course, I'm gonna give examples, more examples on class structure, objects, and instances, and their usage in real life. Okay, let me start without wasting any time. And as you are accustomed to, this is our PyCharm opening page. PyCharm is an Python development environment, integrated development environment, IDE. I here, instead of creating a new project, I go directly my project list, and this final project 9, phase 9, will be our starting point. Okay, as a startup, I prefer to use an example with that will give attribute error. Here, just as you can see, I declare a rectangle class, a class named rectangle, and so I define init method here. So it's gonna have 2 parameters, width and height. So I here assign our variables to self.width so as to be width, and self.height so as to be height, and within this block anything can be done. Okay, and after out of this block definition, method definition finishes, and also class definition finishes, and here I create a variable corresponding to rectangle class as object. Okay, the term is object. This is object of rectangle class, and I here dedicate 2 parameters, 7 and 8, that corresponds to width and height correspondingly. And here I would like to make it printed rectangle object with color attribute. Okay, actually when we look up here, there is no parameter named color, so something might happen as erroneous manner. So it's gonna give attribute error because rectangle object has no attribute color. So let's go and run it, and to see we see it. Okay, in line. Okay, there is a erroneous command, and attribute error because rectangle object has no attribute color. Okay, let's go with another example here. In this example, I would like to give an idea about inheritance. Inheritance happens in case there is a class and another subclass. So subclass inherits the specifications of class or superclass. So here I define a class A, right? And within the frame of class A, I define a method A, and it's gonna be print. It's gonna print 1. Okay, I here define another class, a subclass that inherits from A. So by means of this method, I define the same method, and it's gonna print 2. Okay, here I define another C class that inherits from B, and of course naturally that inherits from A. So just we can think that this is subclass, this is class, and this is superclass. So just I create objects regarding these classes, and my k variable will be assigned as class A, and so an instance of k as A I here recall it, and at this phase, okay, let's go one by one, step by step. So after this line, and of course this line, what will be printed? The very first one. Okay, this is called, and an instance is created, and within this method print one will be executed. Okay, and after that let's look downward. C variable C will be assigned by subclass C. Okay, so here once again within the framework of C subclass, I create a method as an instance, and just see what is a method will be printed. Not C method. Okay, you see. So 2 will be printed, and here C instance is used. C variable is used with method C. Okay, within the framework of this method C, letter 3, number 3 will be printed. So we run it once again. Okay. Let's go with another example. Here I go on with inheritance feature, much more detailed manner. So I here define a class named animal, and this is my method here. This animal class will include 2 parameters, name and color, and I also create another class, a subclass of animal called cat. So this is a specific method for cat. I called it purring. This is a method, and within the frame of purr method, in the screen there will be print purr. Okay, I here create another class, a subclass of animals. Okay, it's named dog. This is the dog specific method that I created here. Sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. And it's gonna print woof. So class declaration are finished here. So I define a variable so as to be an instance of an object of dog, and accepting 2 parameters, Fido as name, as you see, and brown its color. Okay. Here it's hair color. Here I would like to get it printed Fido variable with an instant color, so brown will be printed. Brown is to be printed, and after that once again I would like to get it printed bark method by using this one. Okay, let's make it run. Okay, just as we expected, after this command line, brown attribute will be printed, and after that this line will be interpreted. So fido.bark, this method will be executed so as to print out wolf. How did you find this explanation, guys? It's very clear, I think. We're going step by step. I think there is no unclear point. Let's go with another example here. Here I would like to mention once again superclass and subclass and inheritance concepts, so as to give an idea about them, this example. So here I declare a class named wolf. This is going to be our superclass, of course, and this is the init method. It's going to have name and color attributes, and after that I here declare another method, bark method, so as to print grr, and after that here I define another class. I declare another class. This is gonna be our superclass, subclass. Our superclass is wolf, and here I define a method once again, bark, and it's gonna bark such as wolf. So I here an object, an instance of this class, husky. I named this husky voices, and the name of the parameter for name will be max, proper name, and the color as parameter will be gray. And here let's print it, let's make it run and see. So this is not enough to get it printed. In fact, just we are here dedicate, we are assign, but it should be recalled to the method to print out. So a bark method will be printed out, and after implementing executing this line, wolf action will be printed. So let's go with another example. Here I define a class. This is a very simple example, very conceptual example to give an idea about class, subclass, and inheritance. Here I declare a method, declare a class named A, and this is a method specific to class A. It's gonna print 1 as an indicator, and this class B inherits from A, and that means it's a subclass of A, and here I declare the method that's gonna print 2. So just simply recall class B with method, okay, class B. So let's see what's gonna be printed out on the screen. 2. Okay, just as you expected, this is printed. Classes are somehow as templates. Once you create them, and afterwards you can use their attributes just by creating subclasses, another subclass in a nested manner, and it is very useful. Just you create once, and you can use parameters any time. Okay, class structure is useful in this manner. In this example, I here declare a class A with method this, and it's gonna say that this belongs to A method. Okay, this is an indicator. Very similar to the previous one, except that this class structure includes another C class as a subclass. So class A can be considered as a superclass. And in our class B, there is another method. There is another method so as to print method B. This is our method definition, and this is class C. So it inherits from B. So this is going to be the C method. So here just I appended some more instances and printing methods here. So just we create a C object of C class here, okay, and we recall a method corresponding to C. So just we can run and see. C directly uses indirectly uses A. It uses inherits from B and A, in fact. So A method is printed. See, and after that method, this is method, okay. This is another method is called as an object, okay, and here third method will be recalled, okay. The first one method is called, okay. In this object another method is recalled, okay. After running this snippet, we obtain A method, B method, and C method. Just we can make it much more richer, including more sophisticated operations within the frame of method definitions. There can be more than one method. There's no need to mention. Here I define class A, class B that inherits from A, and I would like to get it printed spam def method, and here another spam that's gonna print 2 and recall super classes spam object. So just we can imagine that after printing 2 there will be printed there will be a print including 1, okay. Just okay, just as said, 2 will be printed at first, and after that it goes to here, just here, and 1 will be printed. This is B subclass is called, and a spam method is called. Just this program part will be executed. And in our last example, just I wanted to demonstrate a more sophisticated example here. Just I create a vector 2D, two-dimensional class, and after init method I define the coordinates x and y. So I here define another method, add method. So it's gonna accept other parameters, and the return value will give the summation, addition of the x coordinates and y coordinates, right? This is the structure, x plus previous x and other x, comma, previous y plus other y. So our first variable, called first, will be having these coordinates 5 and 7. This stands for x, this stands for 7 in xy coordinate system, and our second variable will have Actually, this is the other one. Okay, just indicated here. So as to the second vector, will have these coordinates, x corresponding to 3 and y corresponding to 9. So result will be simple addition, first and second. And let's print it and see the result. Result dot x will give our the resultant vectors x coordinates, and the result dot y will give the coordinate of y coordinate of our resultant vector. So this is a simple vector addition. Just after running this code, we can see 8 and 16. Just manipulating it in a manual manner, just you can reach this result. Okay. So you guys, with this final example, we finished our Python lessons. I know Python elementary or intermediate Python cannot be told in such a number of Python codes, 170. I know it is not sufficient, but in order to keep it in a short manner, I preferred such kind of content. Let me tell you some other things about other features, other modules of Python in at this phase. Maybe you can remember at the very first video shootings I mentioned about SkyPy, NumPy, Pandas, and Conda, HTML-lib, MATLAB-lib modules, and pip also. But maybe you are upset you have not encountered about any NumPy example during these courses. The reason is that the utility that I use, I mean the pie chart, does not allow scientific implementations, scientific examples, because it's the community version, so it's somehow limited version. In order to go on with scientific calculations and scientific implementations by using this sophisticated modules that I mentioned just before, you have to buy normal scientific version. In this phase, just I do not plan to buy any scientific version. And by the way, one more thing about that. Okay, we do not limit ourselves with PyCharm. In fact, if we look out our utilities, just I discovered Anaconda and Python Spider allows us to use such sophisticated methods. But I have, frankly, I have not prepared any course material, any lessons material with that utility. I'm going to finish these lessons here. I hope in near future, if I have available time, I'm going to prepare a structure within the framework of Spider. Thanks for your watching, and thanks for your time sparing for me. Be in peace, you guys. Bye bye. Thank you so much. One more thing, please do not forget to subscribe my channel in YouTube. As you know, Hasan Zeki Alp is my channel name. and thanks for your time once again. Please enjoy the remaining part of this day. Thanks once again. Bye bye.